14 is in another. We let the teenagers play basketball. Okay. And then after their time is that we rotate. So they get to play ball, but they also have to go through the mentoring session. And then there are some groups we do as a group, like we may show a film on some African history and then civil rights activity. Then we do that as a group, and then we feed them at the end of the program, so they tend to stay around for that too.
So the feeding part is, that's always good to break bread. If someone is interested in knowing about Men to Boys program, how would they get in contact with you?
Well, they could either call me at 901-362-8922, or they can contact me through my church, New Sardis Missionary Baptist Church, 7739 East Holmes Road, and that phone number is 901-754-7949.
Okay, and we're going to give that number again too before we close out, because it's really important that we have that information. The one thing that I'll tell you is that we've decided, my wife and I were talking, and as a part of the best of, we would really like to highlight people like yourself for doing such an incredible work. And we can't thank you enough. Once again, I think there's a story about a starfish, and this older man and his son or grandson walking down the shore, and the grandfather was throwing the starfish back in the water, and the little boy says, well, you know, doing that, it's really not going to make a difference. And he goes on, and most people in the audience know the story, and he says it does make a difference. It makes a difference to this one.
Exactly.
So for every life that we touch, we can't measure how many lives are going to be impacted by that life. I will say that I know that there's a gentleman that impacted me as a junior high school student, and it's because of that gentleman that I do a great deal of the things that I do. But I'd like to go back to getting more involvement, particularly from our men. And as I'm talking to you, I'm really talking to our audience and challenging the men within our community to really reach out. You know, I did have a gentleman at one time say to me, how can you make a difference? How can you make a difference in a group? And I think if you were to talk about the Men to Boys, what kind of response would you give him as far as making a difference?
Well, I mean, making a difference, but like, it was back to what you said earlier, none of us got to where we are without someone helping us. Our pastor has this saying that if you ever see a turtle on a fence post, he didn't get there by himself. Somebody put him there. So that's the same thing with us. So we should feel obligated to give back, because a lot of us in our community, we've been pretty successful. You know, we doctors, lawyers, judges, teachers, homeowners, you know, business owners. And so just to give back, because I'm sure somebody helped us to get where we are. If it's just a parent, and there's some children that may not have that parent that can push them that extra little inch that they need to be successful. Yeah. And as men, we should do that. And that's, I think it's Deuteronomy 4:9 say you should remember everything that you hear and, you know, and pass it on.
Absolutely.
So that's some stuff that we learned when we was young that might have been negative that we need to pass on, let them know, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know.
I think in modern terms we call that pain.
Yes.
So when we talk about giving back, that's really incredible. One of the things that my pastor, our pastor, says often is youth and wisdom shall never meet. And in order for them to coexist, they coexist through programs like Men to Boys. So let's throw a challenge out. Has New Sardis challenged any churches out there in the past to participate in a Men's to Boys program in the past?
No, I don't. I mean, we go out to some churches, but we never actually issued a challenge.
Okay.
And back to the church part, I think the church will play the major role in saving our community, because to me, our community is imploding from the inside out. Because I mean, before, you know, when the church stepped up doing the segregation and the civil rights movement, it was forces coming in to try to destroy our community. But now we're in the community. So I think the church could play a major role, because the churches are in the community and they know the people in the community. So I would challenge them that, you know, if it's not this program, get involved with some program with your youth in your church or the youth in your community, and just try to turn them around. Because I think, like I said before, men will be the ones, nothing against women. You know, women are great, their single parents are great, but men are going to be the one that change our community, because if you look around at the negative stuff, a lot of it's caused by the men in the community. The gang banging, the drugs, the babies out of wedlock, they're fathering, but they're not being fathers. So if we can get them to change that negative stuff, the community itself would be better as a whole.
Okay. Thank you very much. And what I'd really like to do is to go back and circle back and really just talk about your Men to Boys program and what I would hear as a business person. And I'd like to just make it crystal clear to the majority of community, to everyone within our community. As you know, Memphis is a diverse city, but what I'm really hearing at the end of the day is you're focusing on life skills, respect, attitude, and a positive sense of self and self-worth. So at the surface, it appears to be a program that is more Afrocentric. But what I'm really hearing you say, obviously as a man of God, but yet a member of our community and a businessman, a man who's a part of our business community. So this really turns into something a lot greater than just me being a young African-American male. It turns into an adult male like yourself who loves the Lord, who loves his wife and his family, and is willing to take care of that family. Am I hearing that right?
Right. So that's my main focus. I mean, it would be nice if everybody that goes through the program is turned out to be a doctor, or a scientist, or a judge, or a president. But our whole focus is we want you to turn out to be a good father, good husband, good brother, good friend, good productive citizen in this society, and someone that, you know, attend church and love the Lord. That's our whole focus. Now, if you, like I said before, if you're a janitor and do that, that's great. If you're a doctor and do that, that's great. If you're a customer service agent and do that, that's great. But if that's the way, if we can get you to be that man, that means you're gonna produce some good children, you're gonna have some good community things, so it's gonna, like I said, the rising tide lifts all boats. So if we can bring the bottom up, the whole city of Memphis itself would prosper from that.
Right. And I appreciate you for clarifying that. And I just wanted to really bring that to the forefront, because the best of really is centered on the best of. And as I said, business and the community. And by developing these young men, we're going to end up being able to tell some more good things. Memphis. The best of is centered around telling about the good news and about the things that are happening within the Memphis community. I've lived in a lot of different cities, and you know, I lived in Indianapolis at one time, and it was known as the fattest city. I moved to Philadelphia, and it was known as the fattest city. And then I come to Memphis, and the focus is on obesity here. So we need to start thinking in terms of being at the top of the list for good things. Exactly. And I think things like, or organizations like yours is going to help to get us there. So once again, I appreciate you. I appreciate Pastor Gray and his family for taking their situation and being willing to share it throughout our greater community for the sake of people like you and me, because at some point it's going to come back to us. It's going to impact us. So we're really proud of what you're doing. Any words of wisdom or recommendation to some of the churches, some of the other organizations that are out there, be they nonprofit or for-profit, or some employers, for example?
Well, I guess the thing would be, if you're interested in a program like this, be this one or some other one, if you wanted to, you can contact me, as I say, at 362-8922 or through my church, and we can give you information on how to start a program, or you maybe already have your own program. We may want to just make it a little better. And we do offer, like I said, we offer the regular mentoring, but we do have people, like I was saying earlier, like Dr. Watson and Dr. Washington. They offer the rites of passage program that they do, and Brother Ekpe, he's our African drummer expert. He teaches the drum lessons, and we have life coaches, and we have other people that do personal or individual training. If you have athletes that are trying to progress to another level, that's all part of the Men to Boys. So that's a different aspect of it, but it's all part of it.
Wow. So you've got some really, you've got some pretty strong pieces there, and you've got them headed by some very accomplished people. I've had the pleasures of meeting both of the PhDs, and one I believe is at Ole Miss.
Yes, one is at Ole Miss.
And now that's Dr. Washington?
Dr. Watson.
Dr.
Watson is at Ole Miss.
Okay. And then Dr. Washington is at?
UT.
at the University of Tennessee.
Right.
And Ekpe Abioto, I've had the pleasures of knowing him for a lifetime. So you have really started from the top down and really worked with the best. So I didn't know, but apparently it was in divine order that we were able to make it possible for us to meet and talk here today. Knew that your program was incredible. Didn't know some of the information that I found out today, so I appreciate you for bringing that to us. Okay. And what we'd like to do, obviously, is to share that information again with the viewing audience so that they can get involved and really help to make a positive difference in our community. And again, we've got Mr. David Muskin here, and would you share your information once again?
Okay, we're at New Sardis Missionary Baptist Church. It's at 739 East Holmes Road. Our phone number is 901-754-7939, and you call me at 901-362-8922. And before, I do want to mention we have a core curriculum group of guys that work with me, and I just want to acknowledge them. One is Brother O.C. Body, Brother Ed Hill, Deacon Mark Byers, and Deacon Michael Coran. And then we have Freddie Blanc. He's our residential chef. He used to be a personal cook for Colton Powell.
Oh, that's very important, guy. As a matter of fact, I'd like to make an appointment with him just to sample his goods. So that's really good. And once again, I see why you're doing what you're doing, because you're a man that willing to give credit where credit is due. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you, Mr. Muskin, for coming in and sharing all of this information with us on the best of about your Men to Boys program. We're looking forward to hearing some more from you and about the program, and I'm just excited about seeing some of the fruit of your labor.
Yes.
What I'd like to do once again is to ask people to join us on Facebook. Go to Ricky Tucker at Facebook and join the Best Of group, because you're going to be seeing more from Mr. Muskin, no doubt. Please send your recommendations in to Ricks International at msn.com, or simply give us a call at 901-870-7492. Again, this has been the Best Of. I'm your host, Ricky Tucker. Please continue to watch us, and remember to always be your best.
Good.